Hello everyone, welcome to another live match of the Average Angler. Today we're at Shiplate Farm fishing. We're on a short pole series. So you can see me fishing now, which is top kitten 3 sections, is the furthest I can fish, furthest I'm allowed to fish in this competition. It's all pole fishing and it's top kitten 3 maximum length. It's the second round and I've drawn myself peg 4 on the main lake, which is a great peg. Absolutely no qualms about the peg. Has got potential to win this section. I've set up 3 main lines to start me off. To my right I've got a tree under which I'm hoping to catch some better fish. I'll put a bit of corn under there. It's quite deep there. It's probably the deepest part of my swim. And straight in front of me, it's probably a few inches shallower. I've put a bit of ground bait in here where I'm fishing now, and some micros. And I just dropped on this for the first time 2 minutes ago, so we're about 20 minutes into the match. I've just hooked a nice skimmer bream off this peg, a 2.5 pound fish. So we could do with a few more of them, a 2 pound fish, 2.5 pound fish. To my left, where the water shallows up considerably, and there's a much further bottom there, so I've put some micros in. It's about 3.5 foot deep there. Probably over 5 foot when I'm fishing now, and it shallows up to 3 foot quite quickly. The bottom seems a lot further. The float seems to be sitting up quite a bit at the moment. This rig, don't know whether or not if it's got the bait in its mouth or what. I thought I'd turn the cameras on because there might be a chance of another big bream. So what I've done is I've fed it quite positively, much more positively than I have been doing for skimmers, because I know the skimmers near are a good size. And I've been fishing with a big expander on the up, a 6mm expander, just trying to catch a better fish. It means I can use a bigger hook, and then if we do get a carp coming to the swim, if it's settled down now, so maybe there was something in the area, and if we do get a carp coming to the swim, we've got a chance of landing it because we've got a slightly bigger hook in. But we've still got an 0.11 bottom on, so we're still fishing quite light, just to make sure we don't miss out on those bites. Nice skipper, so that's nice. I was hoping to catch another on the camera, and there we go. I might put a pot on and just start potting in 4 mils now, so I don't want to lose these fish. I want to give them a reason to hang around. Put that ground bait in and I want to keep feeding them. Good size skimmers they are. I've only got 5 pound silvers now at least already. So let's put a pot on it, the pot went out. Can't, when you've got bream that size feeding in your swim, you can't not feed. You've got to put some feed in for them, but you ain't got to go mad this time of year. You know, still early March. Weather's not brilliant, so you've got to make sure you're not overdoing it. You can see we've got quite a big expander on there, 16 Preston SFL hook silverfish light up, where they're quite robust. And what I'm going to try doing is just putting like 4 or 5 of them in. The other lines have got plenty of bait on, so I ain't got to worry about them. I'm not loose feeding them at the moment. I'm just tapping. I've just tapped a bit of bait in for a cup of those lines. And what I'm hoping to do is just fish very positive. They've got a very positive bulk down rig. Get it to the bottom. Fish on the bottom. Just look for really positive indications. Like I say, I've fed that's like a one-handed ball of crushed expander with some micros in. That's all that's been fed. There's lots of fish, there's bubbling and all sorts going on, so just going to see if we can catch another one, then I'll turn it off and we can come back in a bit. Like I say, I was hoping to catch a carp down to this bush to my right at the start, and I sat on that for 10 minutes with corn over corn, but didn't really produce anything. So I thought I'll go to the left where I put some micros. I put some soaked 4 mils in, and didn't have any indications there either. So I put some micros in on that line, just a little palmful, just to try and see if it'll draw something onto the onto the 4 mils. It is a lot shallower there, so I'm expecting it not to happen really quickly. But you never know, even when it's cold. Sometimes the fish want to be in the shallow water, so to do a line there, and then I've also just topped up the edge of the bush again with some more corn. I've not gone mad with the corn, but every now and again I shall just put in 10 or 15 grains, just if there is carp visiting it, they'll keep coming back and get some confidence up. Later on I may switch that to maggot, big potting, I don't know. I've got lots of ideas in the head, and I'm just trying to work out what's happening at the moment. I think them 2 skimmers are probably winning the silvers in this section. Guy to my right on peg 3, he's had one very big carp. I don't think he's had any more just yet. If you watch my videos regularly, you'll know that this time last year I had a really good day on Shiplate on this particular short pole series, and it was on the peg to my right, and I had sort of 7 or 8 really big carp for sort of £80. Won the day, and that was fishing short. So there's a potential for that peg to produce a lot of fish, but it's only just to my right, so I'm hoping that I can get those same fish to come to this corn, to this bush. So it's not looking like we're lots of bubbles. Very interesting to see how many bubbles there are. And it might be that I've just got to lean out a little bit and fish past, because a lot of bubbles just past the way the feed's gone in, which happens a lot. These big skimmers, oh, there's a little touch there then. These big skimmers, they come in and they sit at the back of the feed a lot. So I'm just tapping in 4 mils, so if they want to get a feed, they've got to come short over the 4 mils. There's only really a scattering of micros over that. Expander. Next put in, I might just put a little nugget of expander in. I've got to be careful about putting too much ground bait in too early. Don't know, but there's definitely fish there blowing all over the shot. A little indication there. It's very sensitive float, so I'm looking for real positive indications. I want a big fish. I don't really want to be striking at anything that's not a proper bite. I don't want to be striking at liners. If you foul up one of these, it'll ruin your day straight away. Hoping to get another one on the camera for you, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. I want to save a bit of battery for later. Right, there you are then. We're probably half an hour, 40 minutes into the match now. 2 nice skimmers. Oh, go on, something there. Little indication, but it could just be a line because it's very slow. That's a carp. No, it's a skimmer. I was really slow, I didn't want to strike, but he just kept going. So if I just do a gentle lift, like an inch or 2, then I won't foul look it unless it's in the mouth. But it's fighting funny. It's keeping down, so it is a foul look. There you are. That's what you got to watch out for. Is it a foul looker or is it right round here? It's a foul looker. So that's what I thought it was. That's why I didn't want to strike it then. They're indications, but he was on the bottom, that fish. He's just giving me a liner, that's all. Right, I'm going to mess about different baits, see if I can get quicker bites, and I'll catch you in a bit. So we're an hour and 15 minutes in. I've stayed on this skimmer line. Let's top it up once with a little bit of ground bait, just to get some fish to come back in again. But now I'm just tapping in soaked 4 mils in between after every fish. I'm just fishing either 4 mil or a 6 mil expander on the hook. Just trying different ones. We had 13 skimmers, just landed my 13th skim. I thought I'd turn the cameras on for an hour update from the last sort of spot. I think we're doing quite well, but then Steve to the peg on my left. He's caught some skimmers. He's starting to catch skimmers now. Now he didn't have some of the nice big ones that you saw me have at the start. I think I've got a little bit of an advantage on him there. But then peg 1, I can't see peg 1, but he was only not about 5 or 10 minutes ago to the sort of 10 or 12 pounder skimmer, so he's going to have a similar weight to me. I know that peg 1's been performing quite well for skimmers like this peg has, so I'll keep an eye on that. Now the thing is with this league that we're in, it's a short pole series, like I mentioned to you before. But what I didn't say was you're fishing. Just too early then. Getting carried away. You're fishing a short pole. Sorry, yes, a short pole series, but you're fishing 2 leagues simultaneously. So one of the leagues, so is your silvers, and one of the leagues is the carp. So at the end of the match, instead of weighing both of your fish, all of your fish together, and put it as one weight, what you actually do is separate your 2 fish out, carp and silvers, and they become 2 separate weights. They go into 2 different leagues. And that, I didn't film the first round because it was raining a lot, and it was on the pool behind me, Hawthorne's pool. And I actually managed in my 5-man section to win both the carp and the silvers on that day. So I've got 1 point in both leagues because that was the first round. This is the second round that we're fishing today. So I've got to try and keep both rounds going. So, you know, at some point I'm going to have to come off these skimmers and think about carp. Because if I don't, and I have no carp, then I've given up on that carp league really. That carp league doesn't, it becomes, you know, it becomes pointless. There's a lot of fish there at the moment. The rigs moving around a lot. That carp league becomes out of my bounds because I'll have a last. So it's kind of like, I've got Steve to my left who's probably going to be getting good points on silvers. I've got the guy on peg 1, I'm not sure who's on there. I think it's another guy called Steve actually on peg 1. So the 2 Steves pushing me on the silvers, and if I try and get caught up in that competition too much and don't just take a hit on it and say, right, I'll take 2 or 3 points for the silvers and actually have a look at carp, I could end up cocking it up for the carp, and then I'm forced on silvers on every, you know, then I'll have to just fish for silvers on every round. Which isn't the end of the world, but it does limit your options if you get on a peg that's not known for silver fish. So it's kind of playing that game. You know, you've got to remember it's a league, it's not just about going for the win today. I said that if you were going to go for the win today, you'd have to get onto carp anyway. Right, that's another bite I've missed on the bigger pellet. The stamp of the fish definitely got smaller in the last half an hour or so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little look at a 4mm expander because I've been putting 6mm on, which was me being positive when I thought, you know, earlier on trying to catch a bigger fish. I was going to say I'm not going to put any more in, but I am. I'm going to just put in. So just a couple of bites. Another 4 or 5 pellet. And then who's catching peg 1? He's catching on peg 1 spoon, is he? Is he catching skimmers on peg 1? Is he? Peg 1's flying on the skimmers at the moment, by the sounds of it. So just tap a few 4mm in it. Oh, we had a little bite straight away there then, missed that. That was probably a proper bite, that one. Nice and fast and sharp. There's a few fish there now, but it's got a bit funny. I don't know if there's too many pellets on the bottom, or maybe I've got a fish right on top of the feed. I'm fishing just past the pole tip at the moment. Maybe these fish are coming right into the feed now. Good toe left to right. There's not much wind on the lake, but it's definitely towing left to right in my peg. A 4mm pellet needs to be slightly better at the moment in the 6mm. Doesn't seem to affect the stamp either. I think because you're only feeding 4 mils, that's what controls your stamp really, what you're feeding, not what you're fishing. So there we go, that's our update. Catch you in a bit. That's 1:30, so we started at just, 10:15, so that's 11, 12, 1, so it's 3 hours and a bit in. And I've just put my 30th skimmer in the net now. They're not all massive. They're not all like big proper skimmers, so I've not got 50 or 60 pound or anything. I've probably just got 30 pound if that, because I've got some better ones and some smaller ones. Some of them have been like tiny hand sized ones, so probably not going to put any more in that net. I'm probably going to switch over to the next net. I've had one skimmer down to me right. Well, I tried me corn line down to the right and had one skimmer over it, but I can't get a bite on it again. So I keep topping that up. So I've got a corn line to me right, pellet line to me left. I don't know, mate. And that's what we've been doing. So I've not even been on the pellet line to the left. I keep just every now and again I just put a nugget of pellets on it. Little 3-fingered nugget of pellets and just leave it. Micros. Been trying different things on this line because it gets, the line I'm on now, it seems to get better and then worse and then better than worse. Just done a little cup of micros on it. Just had 2 nice skimmers off it. I'll put the cameras on. Maybe I'll get a 3rd one. Had some small ones in between and bits and bobs. I think the most anybody in the section's got is 1 carp, so still Spooner my peg to the right's got 1 carp. Steve to the left's had 1 really small carp, and I think Tom on peg 2's just had a 4 pounder, so another small carp for this place. So I'm not falling behind on the carp too much, so that if I need to at some point, hopefully one of these shorter lines, this corn line or that pellet line to the left in the shallower water, hopefully one of them will eventually, when I go on it, have some carp on it, and we can have a few of them and do one in the carp league as well. If not, it is what it is, and you end up stuck on the, you end up having to stick with the silvers. But that's how this goes, I suppose. It gives you a chance to. Float wants to run left to right, so when I don't get a bite after a while, I do let it run. It has resulted in the odd bite. There's one there. What I was doing there then, I think some of the bait stopped to drift left to right, and so if there's nothing right over where you've fed, you can sort of follow the bait down. What I'm going to do is start this left down, so I've got 2 nets of silvers now. And then if I catch a carp, I'll have to get another net out. Or when I catch a carp, I'm going to be positive about it. Steve's in again. I've got half a pot of 4 mils, half a pot of micros. I'm not feeding it every time when I'm putting meat bait in, but I do feel like I want a bit of bait today. I do seem to get a reasonably quick response to feed. Yeah, I'm just going to hold the rig right over the top of that, hopefully. Something will have it. Put an extra shot on, because at the start, look, I've got a really fine float on here, like a 1 mil fine bristle. And at the start I had it sitting out quite a way, just to see the difference between liners and normal bites and stuff. But now I feel like there's been a few sucky bites that I might have missed. I have missed more bites. I have struck at a lot more bites that I haven't connected with since I did this. So obviously I was missing bites, or missing indications. Whether whether that's cost me fish, I don't know which way around it is. Whether it was better higher or whether it was better lower. It's just dipped down there like a tiny little bit, and there's one on. Really subtle bite that was. Probably wouldn't have seen it if it was been dotted down. But you see the instant response to the feed. They come in and they are cleaning that feed out really quickly. Oh, there you go, that's a liner. So we can ignore everything I just said. It's just a line bite. He was probably coming into the feed still. Get the slime off. We're about half an hour since I last spoke to you guys. And gone over to that pellet line on the left in the shallower water. And I walked a couple of little tiny blips and I kept getting little dinks off little tiny fish and it weren't right. I just kept putting a bit of cut meat in, pellet in through the little pot, and I thought, you know what, I'll just keep doing that. And see if I can get something to come into the swim light. And I put a bigger pellet on, trying to avoid the blips that kept grabbing it. And I've up this first carp of the day. Hopefully we can get him out. We've not got massively strong liners, so we can't bully him. We've got a decent hook on, so we ain't got to worry about the up pull so much, but we've got to worry about the line breaking because we've got over 11. I'm not even going to lift. I'm not going to stress this fish out at all. I'm trying to keep him to my left. I've just topped up my bream line. We don't want him swimming through that, but he probably will. He probably already is as we speak, going through there. Judging by the angle of that line. Oh no, it's just an absolute hippo. It's a big fish. It's a big fish. That'll do. Christ knows what that weighs. Fairly hooked in the chops. On the corner of the scissors there. Just leave the cameras running now till the batteries run out probably. I've had 40 skimmers, just had the last few skimmers I've had have been good ones. I've had one that's got to be over £4. a couple of 3-pounders, so they're going to bump the weight up nicely. Sadly, the guys either side of me have both caught a few carp, so might be falling behind a little bit in the carp front. But I just can't find a carp. I've been over to me reach the left where I caught the carp on, and there's just not one there. It's nothing. I'm just not getting any bites at all. Or if I do get a bite, it's really rapid and I'm not hitting it. Don't feel like it's proper, you know, proper big fish. So I've taken that rig and gone a little bit down to my left-hand edge. It's a similar depth. Replumbed up. Just started a fresh little area down the edge, because down this bank there's a lot of rocks close to the bank, and what you can do is you can fish at the bottom of them rocks and a lot of these pegs, and you can catch a good size carp there sometimes. So I've put a bit of bait on that line, hoping that, you know, if there's some fish there, I'll just be able to catch one. And then that's my last chance. I'm going to see if I can nick one more skimmer off this line, then I'm going to have a look under this tree where I've got some corn. We've been putting corn in all day. Still only had skimmers off that as well. I'm going to go down to that line down to my left as well. Give me 10 minutes each. Unless we nick a carp off one, then that'll probably mean that we've got more than 10 minutes. Oh, that could be a carp. So after all that talk about we're going to get a carp off of there, that is definitely a carp. I thought that was a big head shape when I hooked him. No, I thought it was when I hooked it. I thought this is a good skimmer, but it's turned into a mirror skimmer, this one is. Yeah, it's definitely a carp. Oh, he's gone wild. He's going to do me here. I can't put my pole sections on. It's a bit lively, this one. Flipping heck. That's gone all the way from there on one run all the way across to you. Just because he knows I've put some bait down there, you see. Wants to ruin me swim. Well, that was me one. I was going to get one more skimmer and go for a carp, and I got a carp anyway. So that was nice. We can get him in the net quite quick. He seems like he's going to play ball with us to some extent. Probably got a bit of false confidence after how hard he pulled down. He didn't snap me. Probably regret it. How did you see that? Oh, you wouldn't believe that, Steve. I scooped him. He went straight in head first, and then he turned around in the net and swam back out before I could lift the net up. You might be bigger than the last one, Steve. As he's not snapped toe 11, I do not know. The skimmer. Just looking for a really lucky quick fish. It's gone under. It's gone under. I don't know if that was a silverfish though. Gotta watch these silverfish. I'm gonna put a bit of corn on just to avoid the silvers. We've now got 2 minutes left, assuming the timekeeper's clock is similar to ours. And we'll put 2 or 3 grains of corn in just because. Because we've put a bit of corn on the hook. I don't think it'll matter that much. It's foul out, I don't care. I've got time to worry about it. Just holding on now, it's the back shot. Dipped a little bit there. I think it was just a bit too tight to the corn. It was. Get away, duck. So you missed. I've not managed to get a lot of the skimmers on film. I've caught a lot of good skimmers today. That's it. Don't count spoon, sorry. Not before the whistle, mate. Not that it's going to matter, you don't even need it.